Performing first tonight, pro golfer Scott Draper and pop superstar Ricki-Lee.
Our couples, everyone. What a star-studded cast. Now, you were sitting pretty last week. You're in the top 5, but let me remind you, there were 5 of these couples all separated by just 1 point. So are you feeling safe or not?
Never safe. The standard is, and we're hoping we do a great job tonight on this song.
Well, I think the costume kind of gives us a little bit of an idea where we might be going with this one. Scott, you're not a guy who spends a lot of time dwelling on the past, but this week, to prepare for your song, you certainly did spend some time in the 50s, as you'll see.
Last week, Scott and I did a beautiful Aerosmith song, Don't Wanna Miss a Thing. It was one of the biggest power ballads of all time, and you nailed it!
Scott Draper, you have found your voice.
It's just adrenaline rush, and what an experience. Yeah, I'm loving every minute of it.
That's what it's all about.
I saved her life, she nearly drowned.
This week, Scott and I are doing Summer Nights from the movie Grease. I've wanted to be this role from when I was 14.
It is one of my favourites too. I just got to really work hard this week because it's so important to nail this one because everyone knows Summer Nights so well.
So because Scott and I are singing Summer Nights from Grease this week, I thought, what better place to come than an American diner to get into character for Grease. Here we go.
Summer loving had me a blast.
I've got to try and pull off Danny Zuko, who's one of the coolest guys. And I'm many things, but I just don't think I'm cool.
Because he's a sportsman, performing is not his forte, so he needs to really focus on getting in the zone. If you make me believe what you're saying this week, that's it. You're Danny.
Yeah. Here's to Danny and Sandy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Now, when you're talking movies and musicals, they don't get any more iconic than Grease. So to tell you more, here's Scott and Ricki-Lee.
Summer loving had me a blast.
Summer loving happened so fast.
I met a girl crazy for me.
That boy, cute as can be.
Summer day drifted away to all the summer nights. Well, tell me more, did you get very far?
Tell me more, like to see have a car.
She swam by me, she got a cramp.
He ran by me, got myself down.
I saved her life, she nearly drowned.
He showed up, splashing around.
Summer, something's begun. But all the summer nights.
It's her Coulter, that's where it ends.
So I told her we'd still be friends.
Then we made a true love vow.
Wonder what she's doing now. Summer dreams ripped at the seams, but those summer
Oh, my God. That is so, I love when you go, oh my God, what does that mean?
I've never been so nervous in my life as just then. I
Really?
really haven't, no.
Why? What was it about that particular performance that really put you on your edge?
I think it's because it's such a big song, we all know it, we all love it, and we're used to having 50 people around you singing it, and then I realised, hang on, it's just me, and this is a little bit harder than I thought, but it was just fabulous to do that, and just a lifelong dream.
You did a great job.
It was certainly well received when you look at all the smiles around this place, and particularly probably on the televisions and those in the lounges at home. You can't help but smile when you listen to that song. You were stoked after last week. You're stoked this week.
I'm the most nervous I've ever been. This is huge for me. I've always wanted to be Sandy, and he's a hot Danny. Oh, it's a bit exciting.
But it wasn't an easy transition from last week to this week. You did have a little bit of a meltdown, didn't you, this week?
I did. It was such a big high last week, and as I said, this song I thought was easy until I started singing it, and I just had a meltdown on Wednesday when we're at the studios. But it's been...
the CD was going out the window. We didn't want to sing it anymore.
But I just loved that. That was such a ball.
Well done. We're so glad you did. Congratulations. This man, however, during the week was saying the honeymoon is over. Ross, what would you like to say about our opening
The honeymoon might be over, but you heartthrob you.
Thank you. Yeah.
The second half was where you really impressed me because it's not easy to sing well in what was virtually an unaccompanied a cappella section, but you did. Good on you.
Thank you.
Marina, welcome tonight.
Well, look, I think you did a great job vocally and I can really hear the work that you're doing, but that's only half of a song. The rest of it is the singing, and I just think there was a bigger opportunity for you to connect with us. You kept closing your eyes and retreating from us. I want you to go out next week and be a lot more showbiz for us.
Okay, thanks, Brenda.
James.
Yeah, I was a little worried that was going to be Glen Waverley Amateur Musical Society, but it was.
Glen Waverley?
It's a lovely place, and they did it. They did it. Did you?
How'd you tell?
Were you in the original? Have you played Sandy?
Yes.
Of course you were. It'd be lovely. I just think you've got to start to find colour, and you've got range there, and you've got dynamic range. Your volume, you can sing soft, you can sing loud. You need a little more colour. There can be a bit of a drone going on there, but that was pretty good.
Amanda.
You know, I think that was great development in class Coulter, guys. It was terrific, wasn't it? I think also, Scott, you used your lower range perfectly in unison with Ricky's falsetto, and for me, at least, it proved it does take two. It was great.
What about that higher note? I didn't think those pants were that tight.
Tight enough.
You could have felt that better than I could.
The great thing about going first is you get to rest first. So head backstage where this party has been started. Scott is underway. Now votes for Scott help support Cystic Fibrosis Australia, which is committed to curing and providing a quality of life for people with CF. So to vote for Scott, you can do so by SMSing Scott to 191977.
Sensational, the ultimate crowd pleaser song.
What a song.
Living out a bit of a teenage fantasy there for both of you.
You were totally hot just then.
Thank you.
Totally hot. You look the part. You look a bit more like Kinnicky than Danny, though.
Kinnicky, I've heard that, yeah.
Yeah, a bit of Kinnicky.
It was pretty hard to pull off, Danny Zuko. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what this is for. I had to hide the hickeys.
Yeah, Hickey from Kinnicky. Now tell me, big week this week, you finally get to go home. You've been on tour for your tournament. Get to see your family.
Yeah, look, it's been tough not being with them, but I'm looking forward to going home tomorrow and spending some quality time with the fam. And
big rewards. All right, let's see if you last like summer love.
Marina Pryor.
7.
James Valentine.
7.
Amanda Pellman.
8.
And Ross Wilson.
8. Yeah. I'm happy with that.
Good. Hickey from Kinnicky, you've got some good stuff.